Hi everybody, it's a Saturday morning. It's Joe Cioffi here. Thought I'd do a little live streaming with Hurricane Fernanda. And you can see it here on the tight satellite image loop. If you go to nhc.noaa.gov, by the way, and click on the data and tools that's on the menu, you'll be able to pull down any satellite you want, and it has all sorts of floater imagery as well, where they can move the satellite around and just focus specifically on one very tight spot. And you can see on this particular loop that we have a really well-defined eye here as it is moving. Looks like on a course slightly north of west. And it's moving at a pretty decent clip. It's way out in the Pacific. This is 10 degrees north, so it's very, very deep in the tropics at the moment, and it started out pretty far south. So that's going to continue on to the west. I don't see this making it to Hawaii in terms of an intact tropical system, because we're still early in July, early part of July. If this were, you get a little deeper into August, the water temperatures are not all that warm in the Pacific. Up to about 20 north, they start to get fairly cold, and that is problematic. Now, I will just show you what this looks like on the wider picture, just to give you perspective. Here's Baja California. San Diego is right here. Here's the hurricane. And actually, you look at it in this scope, it's pretty small, but it is there, and there's the well-defined eye as it turns as it continues moving mainly toward the west. And here's Hawaii. So I mean, it's way off. I mean, it's way away. Hawaii's out near 160 west, 155, 160 west, and this thing is still out in the 120. So you got a long, long way to go before this were to get anywhere close. And I'm thinking, once it gets out into this region, this is where it'll just probably fall apart. You get these, in the Pacific, it's just kind of like a graveyard with regards to tropical storms. And we're going to take a look. I want to show you, we'll go to the eastern satellite. I've been showing you the water vapor imagery because, I kind of think that this has really been, pretty useful in terms of seeing what's actually going on in the tropics. And I'm going to pull this guy out. And there you go. And there I am. So here's the water vapor imagery. And we've been talking about the fact, just to give you, so you don't lose where the land masses are. Here is, I'll even pull a little further. There we go. So, here's South America. Here are the Leeward and Windward Islands. You've got Puerto Rico. You've got the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And here's Western Cuba and the Bahamas. So here we have the intertropical convergence zone, where we have these tropical waves that are moving out. But notice up to the north, again, you've got actually two upper lows in play here, one in the central part of the Atlantic Ocean, another one a little bit further to the west. So this is creating not only hostile wind environment in the upper layers of the atmosphere, but it's also creating, bringing down some dry air from the north. And you've got all this dry air that's sitting in the tropical Atlantic that is east of the islands, and also another batch of dry air that's sitting off just to the east, to the west of the the Cabo Verde Islands. So again, we don't see conditions yet favorable for tropical storm development in the Atlantic Basin. Every once in a while, you get these runs of the GFS that want to do something with some sort of system, and tried it again, I think, at one of the runs yesterday and one of the runs the day before. The European has been very good. It seems like it's very consistent here. It hasn't really shown anything in terms of development. So I think we have to start looking for clues from that particular model as far as when the Atlantic Basin is going to get active. And also, let's just lay the models aside. The fact that we can see all this dry air here is problematic. We've got a lot of dry air, and until we can get rid of that, until we can do something about it so these upper lows either move or disappear or take another position someplace else, we are not going to see much activity in the next week to 10 days. And even look in the Gulf of Mexico, also, again, you've got an upper air low, it appears, spinning away too. So there's just hostile conditions all across the tropical Atlantic, and I would suspect that it's going to remain that way for just a little while longer. All right, so we got a couple of people on the chat this morning, and I see we have a handful of viewers as well. Okay, so Nitro is in Winona, Minnesota, and we've been getting nailed by severe weather. Well, you know, you are kind of on the edge of that big upper air ridge that's been in the western part of the United States and the northwest flow in Canada that has been bringing down air masses into the Great Lakes and Northeast. You're kind of been lying on that boundary zone. It's been from Wisconsin on north and west into Minnesota, and so it seems like the battleground for thunderstorms sets up on a regular basis up your way. So until the jet stream pattern changes, until that ridge breaks down in the west, and until the trough breaks down in the east, I think you are going to continue to see yourself in the middle of some hefty, severe weather activity going forward. Raymond Goulbald, is there any break in the humid air mass in sight for the capital district of New York? You should get a little, Raymond, I'm thinking, you know, having a little trouble drying out today. I'm thinking, you know, tomorrow might be a little bit better, but there's just still got these weather systems keep coming down, and the next one's arriving on Monday. So you're probably going to start to see a chance for more showers or thunderstorms later on Monday. I don't know how much of a break you're going to get. Maybe later next week we could get a stronger front to come down, but we may have to wait until then. All right, folks. Thanks so much for being here. I kind of ran this more as a test than anything else. I've been trying to, you know, figure out a lot of the streaming software that I'm using and trying to make it look a little nicer and a little cleaner on a regular basis, which would be really good. I kind of lost myself here. Let me see if I can find my find me. Where am I? You know, it's technology is a wonderful thing, but sometimes it kind of gets lost, and you have to learn an awful lot. I had myself in the video capture mode here, and now I'm gone. So I'm going to keep trying to figure this out before I make too much more of a mess of it. We'll check in with you guys a little bit, maybe later today. I'll cut a regular video so we can look at the upper air pattern in the long range. And in the meantime, enjoy your weekend. Try and get outside if hopefully where the weather you are is pretty good. We got some clouds here in the Northeast to still have to chew through, but we should get into some sunshine hopefully before too long later today. All right, we'll see you later.